Okay, so imagine this. You stumble on, like, some random thing just lying there, and suddenly, bam, you're thrown into this wild quest. We're talking giants, a magic mountain, a princess under a spell.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where our deep dive kicks off today.
That's a great hook.
Right. We are diving deep into a classic German fairy tale, The Drummer Boy and the Glass Mountain. We've got the text right here, and our plan is basically to peel back the layers.
Find some maybe surprising things in there?
Exactly. See what this old story tells us about, courage, being clever, sticking with things, and even how weird memory can be.
It definitely covers a lot of ground.
Totally.
Yeah.
So get ready for some unexpected twists, magical helpers, and a hero who kind of proves that maybe banging a drum isn't always the answer. Sometimes it's about being sharp.
The sharpest mind, yeah.
All right, so we set the scene. What's the first thing that kind of jumps out in this story right at the beginning?
Well, what's really striking, I think, is how it flips some classic fairy tale ideas right away. It starts so well, normally.
How so?
Our drummer boy, he's just walking alone, sees 3 pieces of white linen near a lake. Nothing magical seems to be happening.
Okay.
And he just picks one up, puts it in his pocket, like no big deal. Such a small thing, almost forgettable.
Uh-huh. But that's the trigger, isn't it? That tiny action kicks everything off. Because later that night...
Right, he hears this soft voice calling his name.
Yeah.
And there's this shadowy figure there wanting its shirt back.
And that's when we find out this isn't just any shadow. It's a king's daughter.
A powerful king's daughter, yeah.
Banished
to a glass mountain by a witch. And she needs that shirt, that piece of linen, to fly away with her sisters.
who've already left her behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They managed to get away, but she's stuck without her shirt.
And this is where we see the drummer boy's character, like you said. He hears this story.
And he's not scared, not even really suspicious, which maybe he should be. No, he just feels sorry for her.
Right. He gives the shirt back, just like that.
Immediately. And when she's like, oh, you'll never reach me up there, his reaction is amazing. He just says, what I want, I can do.
Wow. Just pure confidence.
Fearless compassion, really. It sets him apart from your typical hero, maybe. He's not thinking about reward, just about helping her. It's audacious, almost.
Yeah, especially given he has no idea how he'll do it. He just asks for directions.
And that confidence is key for the whole journey. She tells him, okay, the path goes through this huge forest full of man-eaters.
Man-eaters. And then she just buzzes off, can't say anymore.
Yeah, leaves him hanging, which perfectly sets up the real challenge. It's not just a hike, It's going to take some serious smarts to survive.
Okay, so he's got this fearless attitude. He's heading into this scary forest. And this next bit is great. It's all about brains over brawn, right? Dealing with giants.
Exactly. He just marches in there, drum ready, not showing any fear. He walks for a bit, doesn't see anyone.
So he decides to make some noise.
Yeah, he thinks, I'll wake the slow sleepers, and starts this huge drum roll. Birds flying everywhere, and sure enough, this giant stands up, tall as a fir tree.
Okay, this is usually where the running or fighting starts in stories.
But not here. That's what's so brilliant. He bluffs. He tells the giant he's drumming to signal the thousands behind him.
Thousands? Thousands of what?
He says they're coming to cleanse the forest of things like the giant. Threatens this massive creature with, get this, earthworms who will hammer him. It's absurd.
Earthworms, that's amazing. And the giant buys it.
Seems to. He's clearly more annoyed than scared, maybe thinks a swarm of little things could be a real pain. So he basically says, okay, what do you want? Just make it quick.
So he offers him a wish, and the drummer, again, shows his focus. He doesn't ask for gold.
No, he wants a ride. Carry me to the glass mountain, he says. Just like that.
Which the giant does, sort of.
Well, yeah, in this really weird, almost comical way. He gets passed from the first giant's shoulder to another giant's buttonhole.
And the button's as big as a dish.
Right. Then onto a hat brim before finally being put down right at the bottom of the mountain. It's this bizarre, whimsical journey just to get there.
But now he's facing the mountain itself. And it sounds impossible. As high as 3 mountains piled up, smooth as a mirror.
Yeah, he tries to climb, just keeps sliding back down. Seems like a dead end. He's totally stuck.
So what happens? How does he get past this hurdle?
This is where his quick thinking saves him again. He sees these 2 guys arguing like crazy over a magic saddle.
The magic object dispute. Classic fairy tale moment.
Totally. But instead of just watching or trying to mediate, he spots an opportunity. He suggests they settle it with a race. To a stick, he points out.
Let me guess. While they're running.
Exactly. While their backs are turned, he hops onto the saddle, wishes himself to the top of the glass mountain, and poof, he's there.
Brilliant. He just completely gamifies the situation. So resourceful.
It's pure opportunism, really. Problem solving on the fly.
Okay, so he's made it to the top. What's it like up there?
Kind of desolate, actually. A flat plain, an old stone house, a big fish pond, a dark forest nearby, and it's eerily quiet. Yeah. He knocks 3 times on the house door, and this old woman opens it. Brown face, red eyes, glasses on a long nose. The classic witch figure.
And she lets him in.
Offers him food and a place to stay, yeah. But there's a catch, of course. He has to do 3 tasks for her, and they sound, well, impossible.
What's the first one?
Task 1. Take this huge fish pond, empty it using only a thimble, and sort all the different kinds of fish. All before evening.
With a thimble. That's just cruel.
Completely impossible. He tries, realizes it's hopeless, but then...
Mysterious helper arrives.
Exactly. A beautiful girl appears. And this is really important. She's not just waiting to be rescued. She's actively involved. She brings him food, tells him to rest, lie his head on her lap.
And she has some magic of her own.
She has a wishing ring. She turns it, says, water up, fish out. And like magic, the water rises like mist, vanishes, and all the fish flop onto the ground, perfectly sorted by type.
Wow. Okay, so she's incredibly powerful.
Definitely. But she also gives him instructions. She points out one fish that's not with its kind. She tells him, when the old witch comes, throw that fish right at her and say, this one is for you, old witch.
Ooh, bit of defiance. Does he do it?
He does. The witch comes, pretends not to notice the fish hitting her, but she gives him this nasty look. So we know it had some effect. The girl's magic is subtly fighting back.
Okay, task 1 done thanks to the helper. What's task 2?
The next morning, the witch says, right, now you have to chop down that entire dark forest, split all the wood, and stack it neatly. Again, by evening.
And the tools she gives him are?
A lead axe, a tin hatchet, tin wedges, completely useless. They just bend and buckle immediately.
So impossible again.
Totally. He struggles, gets nowhere, and just like clockwork, noon comes, the girl appears with food. Same deal. Rest your head on my lap, I'll handle this.
She uses the ring again.
Yep. Turns the ring while he sleeps, and suddenly the whole forest just crashes down, trees split themselves, wood stacks itself up like invisible giants were doing the work.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Does she have another instruction for him this time?
She does. She tells him one branch is left over from the stacking. He needs to take that branch and hit the witch with it, saying, this one is for you, you witch.
He's really poking the bear now. Or the witch, I guess.
He is, but he follows her instructions, hits the witch with the branch. She pretends it's nothing, just laughs this nasty, scornful laugh. But clearly these acts are weakening her somehow, or maybe just proving his worth.
Right, 2 down. What's the final ultimate task?
Task 3. Take all that wood he just chopped and stacked.
Which is an entire forest's worth.
Exactly. Gather it all into one massive pile, set it on fire, and make sure it's completely burned up by morning.
Just burn the whole forest down. That's insane for one person.
Completely. So the girl helps him one last time. He rests, wakes up, and there's this colossal bonfire, flames reaching the sky. The whole pile is burning intensely.
Okay, but there must be the final instruction, right? The most important one.
This is the big one. She tells him, when the witch comes, she'll ask you to do things. You must do whatever she asks without any fear. If you show fear, the fire will leap out and consume you. Don't flinch.
Okay, that's intense.
And then the crucial part. After you do what she asks, you must grab her, seize her with both hands, and throw her into the middle of the fire.
Whoa. So he has to be the one to finish it.
Yes. It's the culmination of everything the girl has set up. So the witch arrives, enjoying the heat, acting all smug. She points to a log that isn't quite burning yet and tells him to fetch it for her.
And this is the test. Does he hesitate?
Not at all. He remembers the warning, shows no fear, jumps right into the flames which don't harm him, and grabs the log.
And then what happens?
The most amazing transformation. The log instantly turns into the beautiful princess, the girl who's been helping him all along. She was trapped in that form.
No way. So she was right there with him.
In a sense, yes. And then seeing her safe, he doesn't hesitate. He grabs the witch.
And throws her in.
Throws her right into the heart of the fire. And the story says the fire consumed her happily. A very satisfying end for the villain.
Wow. And it was all orchestrated by the princess herself, really, the quote-unquote damsel in distress.
Absolutely. She wasn't passive at all. She guided him, tested him, and ultimately engineered her own freedom and the witch's destruction.
Okay, so that's an incredible climax. The witch is gone. The princess is free. And she recognizes him, right? His bravery?
Oh, yeah. She immediately asks him to marry her. They check out the witch's house, find it full of treasure, but they only take some jewels. Seems like the perfect happy ending is locked in.
But this is where the story takes that really unexpected turn, doesn't it? The part about memory.
It really does. It introduces this fascinating vulnerability. So they need to get down from the mountain. The princess says forget the old saddles. She'll use her wishing ring to get them home right to the city gate.
Okay, efficient.
They arrive, and the drummer suddenly really wants to tell his parents the news first. He asks the princess to wait for him there.
And she agrees, but with a warning.
A very specific, very critical warning. She says, okay, but whatever you do, do not kiss your parents on the right cheek. If you do, you will forget everything, and I'll be left here alone in the field.
The right cheek. That's so specific. Why the right cheek?
The story doesn't say. That's part of what makes it so intriguing and fairy tale-like. It's just this arbitrary magical rule. He promises, of course, I won't forget.
Oh, he does, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. He gets home, finds out his 3 days on the mountain were actually 3 years back home.
Oh, time dilation.
Right. His parents barely recognize him at first, but when they do, there's this huge emotional reunion. And in his joy, totally overcome.
He kisses them.
On both cheeks, completely forgetting the warning in that moment of overwhelming emotion.
Well, no, and the effect is immediate.
Instant. All thought of the princess, the mountain, the witch, gone, wiped clean. He remembers nothing about her.
That's heartbreaking. And so strange.
Yeah. It is. He empties his pockets of the gems he took. His father uses them to build a castle. Life goes on. And his mother starts arranging a marriage for him to some other local girl.
While the princess is just left waiting at the city gate.
Well, she realizes pretty quickly what must have happened when he doesn't come back. She's heartbroken, obviously. But instead of going back to her father's kingdom, she wishes herself to a little cottage hidden away in a forest nearby.
She stays close.
Yeah, she keeps watch. She even goes to his castle, his new castle, every evening. People see her, this beautiful, sad woman, but nobody recognizes her, least of all the drummer. She's just there.
That's devotion. But then she hears he's actually getting married.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Right, and that's when she decides, okay, I'm not giving up. I have to fight for him. She could have just left, gone home rich and royal, but no, she wants him.
So what's her plan? More magic.
Oh, yeah. On the first night of the wedding celebrations, she uses her magic. Maybe the ring, maybe just her own power now to create this absolutely stunning dress, shining like the sun. She goes to the castle and offers this incredible dress to the new bride.
In exchange for what?
In exchange for permission to spend the night just outside the groom's bedroom door.
Okay. Strange request. Does the bride agree?
The bride can't resist the dress, so she agrees. But she's also suspicious, or maybe just wants him to sleep well, so she gives the drummer a sleeping potion in his wine.
So the princess is there, but he's knocked out.
Exactly, and the princess spends the night singing this incredibly sad lament outside his door. You know, drummer, drummer, hear me now, have you forgotten me? Remember the glass mountain, how I saved you from the witch, how you promised to marry me.
But he doesn't hear her because he's asleep.
Completely oblivious. So night 1 is a bust.
Did you try again?
She does. Night 2, she makes another amazing dress. This one's silver as the moon. Same deal. Trades the dress to the bride for permission to wait outside his door. Bride gives him another sleeping potion.
Oh no, not again.
Princess sings her lament again. But this time, someone else hears it. The servants. The household staff hear this beautiful, sad singing from outside the master's room. And crucially, they also notice the bride giving him the drugged wine.
So they put 2 and 2 together?
They do. And the next morning, they tell the drummer about the mysterious singing girl and about the sleeping potion.
Okay, so now he knows something weird is happening. He's been drugged.
Exactly. He has the crucial piece of information now. So night 3 arrives.
Did she have another dress?
You bet. This one shimmers like the stars. Another incredible creation. Same trade with the bride, permission to wait outside the door.
But this time,
the drummer is ready. When the bride brings him the wine, he pretends to drink it, but actually pours it out.
smart move.
So he lies in bed, awake, waiting, and sure enough, he hears her soft voice start singing that same lament outside his door.
Drummer, hear me now?
And truly hearing it this time, without the potion, it breaks the spell. His memory just rushes back. The glass mountain, the witch, the promise, the kiss, everything.
He remembers.
He realizes instantly what happened. The kiss was the trigger for the forgetting. He jumps out of bed, opens the door, takes her hand, takes her straight to his parents, and declares, "This is my true bride."
Wow. What do the parents say?
Mm-hmm.
And the other bride?
Well, once they hear the whole incredible story, the giants, the witch, the magic, the forgetting the parents, totally consent. This is clearly the real deal.
And the first bride?
She's apparently quite happy just to keep the 3 amazing dresses, sun, moon, and stars as compensation, which, fair enough, they sound incredible.
Oh, yeah, maybe a fair trade. So the real wedding happens with great joy. True love wins out, even over magical amnesia.
It really does. Perseverance pays off.
So looking back at the whole thing, it starts with just finding a piece of cloth by a lake.
Yeah.
And it spirals into this epic adventure about heroism, but not just muscle, right? It's about cleverness.
Absolutely. Wit, compassion, that unwavering self-belief he had from the start.
And it shows magic in these really interesting ways. The wishing ring, the dresses, but also that weirdly specific forgetting curse.
And I think it really highlights agency coming from where you don't expect it. The princess isn't just rescued. She's the mastermind behind her own rescue and ultimately reclaiming her love.
That's a great point. She's incredibly active throughout the second half especially.
And maybe the most surprising thing is how fragile memory is shown to be. How one moment of pure, unthinking joy, that kiss, could wipe out something so profound.
Yeah, that detail about the right cheek. It makes you think about how arbitrary things can have huge consequences in these stories, and maybe in life.
It definitely sticks with you. This old story really does make you think about the small details, doesn't it?
It does. So as you're going about your day, maybe think about this. What little things, what seemingly random finds in your own life could be the start of something totally unexpected? And maybe what are the right cheek kisses in your world? Those moments of just, overwhelming feeling or comfort. Could they be making you overlook something important, some kind of hidden magic or connection that's already there?
That's a fascinating thought to end on. What might we be forgetting?